This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so today we'll focus on storage, we'll focus on networking, we'll focus on security, and we'll focus on storage done, networking done, security is done, and database also we'll touch base. Then we'll go for the DevOps services also, and then some dev services also. So these are the services we'll talk about it at AWS. Okay, so first thing is network storage. So what is the storage here? So first thing, question: what are the types of storage we have, which we use on daily basis for applications? What are the types of storage? So one storage we use.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
One storage which we use is block storage. Second storage we use is file storage, and third storage which we use is object storage. Okay, so this is something which these are the three kind of services we use on our regular base. So block storage means what? In a simple way, the one storage which is attached to the laptop, it's called block storage. Block storage devices is like you have laptop, you go to and you use the VM and all. It's a block storage. Now I would like you to study. This is the assignment I'm giving it to you for each one of you. What are the types? What are the types of storage? You will study in a little bit detail of storage. Okay, and difference between block versus file versus object. So this you will do that assignment. This is something which you should know when you are in software engineering. No matter which cloud you go, either you go for AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud, or private data center, or anything, anywhere you go, you need to understand this. Okay, so block storage means laptop storage, VM storage, and all example. File storage means any storage. File storage is block storage only, but can be accessible through the network. Okay, accessible through a network. Network means IP address and port number and all. And object storage, which is accessible through HTTP. So any storage which you have used through HTTP, objects, any storage?
I mean, the cloud storage we use, we access through HTTP.
So one of the storage which you have used, for example, Google Drive. Have you used this Google Drive, right?
Yes.
So in Google Drive, you store the files, but how do you access? Through HTTP protocol.
Correct.
Yeah. So like that. So these are the three primarily minded. I said anywhere you go. These are the three different types of storage you have. Now, in AWS, what is the name of the services? So this we call it EBS. Okay, this is we call it EBS. This we call it EFS, and this is called S3 in short form. So EBS means elastic block storage, EFS means elastic file storage, and S3 means simple secure. S3 simple. See, I forgot that. S3 stand for S3 stand simple
S3 abbreviation.
Simple storage service, S3. Okay, so that is a shortcut. So these are the three services. Now the question is, when you have EBS, you can attach to the VM which you create. When you have a EFS, you can also attach to the VM which you create. The process will be different, okay? And because this is object storage, you cannot attach it. Google Drive, you cannot attach it, okay, to your laptop. You can sync it, HTTP, correct? You can sync, but you cannot attach. Make sense? Yeah. So now you need to also tell me use cases of EBS, EFS, and S3. Okay, this is the something which you need to tell me. When you have to use EBS, when you have to use EFS, when you have to use S3, and which is cost effective, which is cost effective. Now this is interview question, okay, so please understand that you need to tell me which is cheaper, which is costliest, and all. You will have to look at the AWS pricing table for it and get me that information. Okay, so these are the three types of storage. Now there are few other storage also. For example, data. If you are into the data warehousing and all, then many other storage also there. But right now, you don't need that kind of storage. So let's get started. So I'll just log into AWS, and here I will just go for this, and I have one machines already, which is here. So this machine, I'm going to use it. Learning dot do not delete and all. So this is my IP address. I'm going to use it. Now, how do I create a EBS? This is the one EBS. So let me do that. So EBS, there is a volumes. Okay. Now these are the volumes is available. And this I will delete it because you see here it says available and it's not claimed by anyone. So I need to delete this because I created last session and I forgot to delete it. So go for EBS, and right now I have a three volumes actually, 50, 50, and 30, and all are in use. Okay. So now can I create one new volumes? So here. Now, when I create a new volume, I have to define volume type. Okay, volume type. Now, if you are an architect, then you can get into the volume type also, and volume type also. Let me switch off my browser actually. So in message, you will get it. Okay, so here. Volume type which you get it, and here you have to find out the pros and cons while designing your system in the production. Then you will calculate which is good, which is not good, what is the cost, and each different types has a different SLA, and plus performance is also different and cost is also different. So here how much you want the disk. So I'll go for 10 GB. This is only for demo, and here I'll go for the standard one, which is the default. Now that I will get input output per second, that means speed of the disk, I will get it in between 100 and 3000. If you want to make sure that you get a fixed speed, so you can go for the provisioned IOPS. This will be very costly, but yeah, you can go for it. Now here you have to decide which availability zone you want. So I will give you scenarios, okay, and think and tell me. Okay, think and tell me. So this is the region, and you know that last session we discussed region will be divided into two availability zone, and between this there is a network. Correct now? Correct. It's like LAN network, you can say. Agree?
Correct. Correct.
Now there is one machine here, there is one VM here, and there is one VM here. So tell me one thing. if I want to attach one additional disk to this VM, or I want to attach additional disk to this VM, so which availability zone I will opt for it? So let's say, can I have it one VMs in the ASIS 1? This is one ASIS and this is the 2. So can I have the storage here and attach to this? What do you think?
You can.
Think and tell me.
Can you repeat your question once again, sir?
So my question is very simple. Can I create the volume in this availability zone and attach to the different machines in the different availability zone, different VM?
You cannot.
I cannot, because I'll put it in a very simple way. Let's say you have a laptop, okay, and you have one storage. So would you like to add storage through the network, because it's a network, right? So if you would like to add through the network, then you become a file storage, no? It's not
Correct.
a EBS. It should be block, right?
Correct.
So it should be attached to your through the system bus or something like that. Correct?
Yes.
So here the fundamental is very simple. You should be keeping the EBS in the same availability zone where you have a EC2 instance. Okay. So now the problem here is I don't know which availability zone my EC2 instance are. So I'll go back to the EC2 instance and ask EC2 instance, hey, tell me which availability zone you are. So let me ask. And when I'm asking it, it's telling me networking. See, so it's there in the South 1A. So I'll go back to EBS, okay, volumes, and here I'll create one more time volume 10 GB only, and here I'll select 1A. If you will not select 1A, you'll not be able to attach it, okay, and create volumes. So what I did, this volume, the one I can name it test demo, whatever it is. So whatever that this volume you procure for AWS. That means you started paying for it. Okay. So this is something which you got it. Now after this, what to do? Okay. So I'll ask you one very simple question, Ashwani. Let's say you have a laptop, and I will ask you to
Yes.
add one more hard drive. So what you will do? In your computer,
Just
I will ask you to add 2 hard drive. What you will do?
2 hard drives, just connect it with the cable.
Okay. What? Okay. After that?
After that, I will install the software in my laptop and they connect it.
No, software is already installed. No, operating. I ask you to attach that. I mean, I ask you to add a new storage. Anshul?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What you will do?
Adding new storage to the laptop or adding new storage to what you're asking?
Okay. So very simple questions I'm asking.
Mm-hmm.
When forget about the AWS. Think
Okay.
simple always. You have a laptop. You went to some market nearby your home. You attach one. You bought one disk,
Okay.
and after that you have to attach. You have to make it available for laptop. What you will do? That's what I'm asking.
We'll attach it to the replace the existing one and attach to the mother. Attach it
No,
to
no,
the
not replacing. I'm saying adding a new storage, additional capabilities.
adding new storage. Okay.
I'll put it in a very simple way, okay? Understand that. So first I will go, right now I'm in Bangalore, okay?
Okay.
And you are in US, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So right now I will go to SP Road first,
Okay.
and I'll buy hardware.
Okay.
One disk I'll buy. Okay. After that, that is means buying the hardware. That is the first thing.
Yes.
In this case, what I did, I bought from AWS 10 GB
Okay.
hard disk.
Okay.
After that, I will attach to laptop.
Okay.
Okay. So that is the second process. Attach to laptop means I'll open up laptop, go back in and attach that disk to the motherboard. Correct?
Yes.
And after that, I will format. How I'll format? So there is a disk manager here. Let me
Correct.
show you. Disk manager. See here. So this you do that. So right now I have only one disk. It's little taking time actually to load. So I have only one disk, but the moment you attach, you will see the two disk actually. Okay,
Correct.
the moment you attach, you will see that disk here. Okay, disk management in Windows. See, process is same. The approach you need to define in Linux. Okay, so don't worry about that. Just understand the concept. So I will format it. Why it's not loading? I'm not sure. My system is come. So right now, how many disks I'm having, Ashwini, in my laptop?
One.
Hello, one, right?
One.
Yeah. So this is the one. So I will, when I have a two disk, no, then it'll say disk 0 and disk 1. So this is the, what I will do, right click on that and format it. This is not enabled for me because this is my primary disk. Okay. So format it. After that, what I will do? Create a mount. Create a mount. So in Windows, typically you would say D drive, E drive, and all kind of things. Correct? So here you can create a mount. See that option is, this. See here.
No. You're clicking on the wrong one, sir. Click on the second box.
Yeah. See here. So option is available. I mean, you can change the drive later and all that, but you have to create a mount. In Windows also same process. So these are the 4 things I will do. Agree with me?
Correct.
Yeah. So now correlate with AWS also. So what I did, I bought 10 GB storage from AWS. I'm paying for it. And you see that it's not, let me refresh this. So it is available right now. So it's not attached to any VMs actually. So what I will do, click on it and attach it. Which VM? So now you know that learning VM. And where I'm attaching Linux, this place. Let it be default. I am not changing. And also you should read each and everything slowly. See, everything you can't build the understanding in one day, but the moment you start reading it, you will slowly build the understanding. So guys, this is done. Buying is done, attaching is done, and format I'll have to do that. Now this is the Linux, so I have to use some commands for it. Okay, some commands for it. So what commands I should use? So first let me log in. So this is the IP address, and so I'm login. Where's the key? Key is somewhere here. So let me log into this. So SSH-I learning key, right? Yeah, learning key, and I think it's a 1-2 machines. Okay, and paste it, enter. So I have logged in. Now, as per my habit, I'll become a root. Okay, now what to do? So I have a few Linux command which is already have logged it. Let me show you here. AWS volume, enter. So auto mount is there, and here you see how to attach and mount an EBS volume. This you can use it. Okay, and there is a step number 1: create a volume, done. Attach a volume, done. Verify if the volume is attached or not. So lsblk. Let me run this command. This is the Linux command. Do you have this attached? You see that 9 GB last one, correct now? Hello, I'm audible, right?
Oh, sorry, I'm on mute. Yes.
Yeah, so 9 GB you have it, and after that check if the volume has any data. So how do I check? So this is the Linux command, but checking that if it is empty or not. So data means it's empty. Okay, And after that, I'm going to format this. How do we format? There is a many ways to format. Okay, this is the using the in Windows, which is the storage driver using that you can format in Windows. Tell me. In Windows, which is the storage driver using that you can format?
Which is a storage driver?
Storage driver. Have you heard about the 532 NTFS and all kind?
Oh, yeah,
Storage
yeah, yeah,
driver.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
so in Windows we have those drivers, storage driver. But in Linux we have ext4, overlay, XFX. You can use any of things. I'm okay with it. So only one use. Don't use blindly. Okay. So here I'm formatting the disk, the one which I attached, and it was empty, so it was done faster. Okay. And after that, this is creating one directory in the root folder, new volume, and now mount it at 2 new volumes. So how do I do that? So this command will do that and paste it. Now done. Now can we validate? See here. So here, see here, last line. So 10 GB out of which 8.8 GB is reusable and it's available right now for uses. Understood all of you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is the way you can attach. Linux, I showed you. Windows, I am not going to show you. Why? Because Windows you guys are using from last at least 5 years, 4 years at least you might have been using. So
Yes,
answer
sir.
I have given it to you. Disk management is answer for in Windows, but I would insist you to have a commands line because in DevOps you have to understand. So here I'm writing one commands. Write a step-by-step guide for attaching EBS to EC2 instance, EC2 instance, but using PowerShell script. Using PowerShell script, have you worked with it?
No.
Try. Okay, because in DevOps it's all about automations. Okay, so try. Manually you will do that in Windows, I know that, but the real challenge is PowerShell script. So if someone will ask you in Windows, how do you automate? So at least little bit of idea you will have working with the PowerShell script. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now I showed you how to attach and tap. Now next one is EFS. So EFS means network file system. Remember that network file system. It's a we call it EFS means elastic file system, but actually it's accessible through the network. I repeat, it's accessible through the network. So here network means it's not only IP address. Okay, it's not only IP address. It can be file server filesserver.com / something like this also. It can be DNS entry also. Are you understanding?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the managed service. Again, this is the managed service. Managed service means this is not managed service. You bought it and you're going to use it. But EFS is managed service of AWS. So how do you get it? So first thing what I will do, because I have to because I'll forget after that and it'll start keeping a bill. Let me tell you, this is the paid service storage. So I will go and detach it. Okay, and after that I will just wait for a few seconds and it's still in use, right? And I detach it. It should be available, and then after that I will delete it. See, available has come, and after that I will delete it. Why I'm deleting it? Because if you don't delete, then it will cost you 10 GB or whatever it is. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now I will go for the next service, which is EFS. So where is that? So go to the services and go to the storage. You can search also directly. And here you have EFS, managed file storage for EC2. EC2. This is the powered by object storage only, but accessible over the network. Let me tell you here, I'll ask you this question rather than me telling you. you have attached one disk to your laptop. Can you attach the same disk to new laptop? Same disk, same time?
By network share.
I'm not saying networking type of, this is not network, I'm talking about the EBS only. So you have
cannot.
attached one EBS to one laptop. You cannot attach to another laptop, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So same way, if someone will ask you, hey, EBS can I attach to the multiple EC2 instance? And I think you know the answer. Correct?
Correct. We cannot.
Yeah. But network you can attach as many want.
Yes.
Okay. Because it's accessible through the network, so you can attach. So EFS can be attached to the multiple EC2 instance, but EBS cannot be attached. Okay. So how to create this EBS? So you can see the charges and all. Here it is the charges. Okay. So let's create a EFS first. And what is the name of it? So let's say AWS demo, and it's optional. Which VPC? So default VPC. Do you want standard one? That means store data redundantly across the multiple ages, or one ages only. So I'll go for standard one. Okay. So this is the something which you will do that. So let me do one thing. Let me create one image also. So EFS-1. This UI has got changed. So I will share with you. Now after that, create an standard one. So now it will take few seconds to get this. See here, it's still creating. And this is the managed service. That means AWS, just you have to create and use it. Okay, done. See, now it's available. So now this is your EFS server. Now what is the most important one? So they are not giving you IP address, but they are giving you the DNS name. Will you remember? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is the DNS name. You have to remember this. Okay. So this is your DNS name, or it can be IP address also. It's up to you. But in AWS, don't give you. It is not giving you. Second thing is what you need to do. So you have to click on the attach. Okay. So let me this one. Okay. So I'll just okay. So you have to click on the attach. So I'll go to attach. Now the question you have to understand here, how do you want to attach? Okay. How do you want to attach? So if you want to attach via DNS, then go for this one. If you want to attach via IP, then go for like this one. Are you understanding all of you?
Yes.
So here I'll go for, both are same, IP address and DNS, both are same. I said no, this is through the network. That means you get a IP address also or DNS. So here I'll go for EFS. Now there is a two options. Okay, this you need to a little bit understand. This is the option number 1. And this is option number 2. This is the option number A, and this is option number B. That means you can DNS, if you go, then you can mount in the Linux box using this one also, and you can mount in the Linux box using this one also. But there is a problem. And the problem is this is need to understood, and this you need to understand. Okay, this you have to understand very carefully. So what is this? So whenever you attach the network drive, NFS has to be installed, and that is what the option B is saying, NFS client. So in the I don't think it's a Ubuntu box, right? Yeah, it's Ubuntu box. So in this Ubuntu box, first you have to do Ubuntu NFS client. You have to install if you want to use this way, and if you want to use the EFS mount helper, then you have to first install that and then run this command. So command is easy, but you have to have a prerequisite installed. Are you understanding? Hello?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
I'm getting you.
So the first question is how to install. If you are using method number 1A, how to install EFS mount helper. EFS mount helper. This is the AWS EFS. A second question you should ask, if let's say, or how to install NFS client in how to install in Linux or Windows, everywhere you need it. So package will be different, by the way. I'm using Ubuntu, so my package will be different. CentOS will be different, and Windows also will be different. Okay. So there is a one URL which has been shared, so you can get the quick command for it. Okay, quick command for it. So which command? So do you see that? Where is that? I can search for the command in Google also. Here it is. See here. So the mount helper is a part of this util package, and this package is open source collections for this one, and for installing this one you can use this one. Okay, are you understanding?
Yes.
So commands should be there. So let me write it so you'll not forget. And command is to install it. Different operating system, it will change the instruction, mind it. So this is for Amazon Linux. This is for other Linux distribution. This is for Mac OS. So I need for what? I need for this is one. Okay. So this will work for, any idea this command will work for which platform?
Linux.
Which Linux?
CentOS.
Yes, CentOS and RHEL. Okay, for CentOS and RHEL. But I want Ubuntu. Right now I have Ubuntu. So I'll go for this one and Debian package. Just a second. Here it is. So first thing, for Ubuntu, this is the command, and finally you have to do this one. And finally you have to clone this repository, and after that go to this, after that run this command, and finally do this. So this is the little tedious process which I'll have to do that. So this is the one for AWS helper. So let me do this one at least. So this is my machine. Clear the screen. Update I'm doing in front of you. And after that I'm going to run this. In AWS it will be a little fast. And this is the learning server, Ashwani. So you can also access. I have given IP address and password to everyone.
I've seen that.
Yeah. So this is the one. Done. Now let's clone this repository. And now go to EFS utils and run this command, which is shell script, and paste it. It's done. And finally run this command. Enter. Okay, so now this is done. Now this I taught you the option number 1. Let me show you. So option number A, sorry. Now how do you install the NFS client? That I'll show you that. Just a second, hold. So let me check. Okay, so here is asking, hey, restarting the load kernel handle automatically. Okay, that's okay. And I don't want to update any other stuff. Okay, and should be done. Okay, so yeah, so now things has been done, and after that you have to, this is done. This after that you can do this one also, and this one also, but right now it's not needed. Directly move on to the mine to your file system. But before that, I would like to do NFS also. So where is NFS? NFS is the alternative. So here just a second. Okay, so you can go to the my blog and find out that one. So now this is the one. How to install NFS client. So NFS, let me see that if I have NFS server inside this NFS client. I have a tutorial, just NFS client, but the problem here is I have a for RHEL. So these all are from RHEL, so let's not use this. Install NFS client for Ubuntu. Okay, so any commands, few commands will work for you. So first thing you do this update. This is a NFS option number 1, and this is a second command. No, this is a server. Okay, don't get confused. I don't want server, I want client. No, this is this is the one. So I need to install only this package. So don't install server, because server is anyways we got it, that is EFS, and this is the last one. Okay, so now let me run this command in the Windows. Both options I'm showing you. So clear the screen and paste it. Enter. Now this is already was there, so that's okay. Already news version is there. So done. So prerequisite, in order to do this prerequisite, this one. Did you understand that, all of you?
Yes.
Okay, now what to do? After that, I am going to AWS and do this one or this one. So first let's try this one. And here, understand that this is the NFS 4, this is the protocol 4, latest one. And let it be this one, everything. And where it will be mounted, you know, it'll be mounted at EFS directory. So it will be there. So let's run this code in the Ubuntu. I'm using NFS for this command. And okay, so here say the mount is not available. So what to do? So go to the cd root mkdir efs, create a directory and then run this. Enter. Okay, so now I have done it, and now df-l df-kh, right? Yeah, df-kh, and you see that this is the unlimited storage you got it. Understood? I showed you only one way. Second command also you can run. You have to use only one out of it. Okay, don't use both. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so now you can use any time this storage EFS, EFS, and you can store anywhere. Now you need to tell me this this question already I have raised here. You need to tell me which is a cost effective. Okay, EFS or EBS. So now this is the for Ubuntu you will do that for, and this is for this and so on. Now one more command I want to give it to you, and that is cd root location and cd mkdir efs, because if you don't have this directory then you'll not be able to run this command, and then done. So this is the full commands. Did you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, good. So now I showed you. Now what I will do is close this. By the way, if you use this one, it will be more performance by it will be good. If you use this one, performance by this is good. And I mean little difference, but what AWS says, little difference. So let me delete this because this is a paid service. Is for this demo I'm using, and done. So guys, this is the AWS S3. Now next thing is I'm going to teach you third storage, and that is, what is that?
S3.
S3, but where is that? It's here. So S3 is like a Google Drive. So let's say, put it in a very simple way. When you have a Gmail ID, how many drive you get it? You know what? How many drive? You get only one drive. What is the size of it? 15 GB. But you know what? Here in AWS, you can get as many drive and unlimited. I mean, not unlimited. I think I'm not able to recall the size limit, but it will be in the TVs actually. Okay. So that is something which you can try. But the question is where to go and get it. So let me go to S3. Directly I'm going to S3, and here it is. Okay, this is the S3. Now I have a few Google Drive already. You might have seen this here. I mean, not Google Drive, it's a bucket we call it. In AWS, what we call it? Bucket. Not drive. In Google, we call it a drive. Here we call it a bucket. So let me create one bucket. As many buckets you can create. Okay. So here this bucket is accessible globally. Remember, HTTP globally. That means it can be accessible from anywhere. So here, let me put it up, Rajesh demo. Okay. Now this region, this bucket where your storage is hosting, you have to specify. See, because it's HTTP, accessibility is the global, but you have to specify where it will be hosted. So you select this one, and then rest of the things I'll let it be default. You will read this, okay, but I'm not reading it because I want to create a bucket first. Done. So what I missed? Okay, someone has taken this. So it should be unique. Name should be unique globally. So just I'm adding random number to make it unique. Globally unique. Now I created a bucket. So this is the bucket. Okay. Now the question is, what way you can use it? So I'll give you one simple use cases. Ashwani, do you know our LMS, right?
Yes.
So do you know where is hosted that videos?
DevOpsSchool /
No, no.
videos.
Where is hosted means that video is stored where?
Uh, it it
Video
is
is
on
stored in
Amazon
S3. No.
S3.
Video is stored in the S3 only. Okay.
Okay.
So why is stored in S3? Because EBS is very, see, EBS is in terms of performance by is good for EC2 instance, but it's very costly. Okay. Compared
Okay.
to this, S3 is little cheaper, and on top of it, it's accessible through HTTP. That is the advantage. So any Anshul, any videos if you access on LMS, that is hosted here.
Okay.
Okay. Now I can
Okay.
reduce the cost little further also. How? Let's say you're paying 30,000 or 40,000 per month for hosting the videos on S3. I can reduce the cost little further also using the CDN. CDN means CDN means content delivery network. Okay, right now I'm not confusing with you with it, but I'm not having time for doing that. So whenever I'll be free, no, I'll implement the CDN also. Now CDN means let's say you access the YouTube. Do you know that your YouTube, the video which you are accessing, basically hosted somewhere near about you only, that in your region, in your country only. So that's cache copy is created in everywhere in the globe. Why they create a cache copy? Because there should be loading more faster. Getting your points? Yeah.
Yes, I get.
So this cache copy creation process, that's conceptually we call it CDN. CDN means content delivery network. So YouTube and all, you watch it, right? You watch it through the CDN only, cache copy only. Are you understanding, Anshul?
Yes, sir.
So now the question is, if someone will ask you, hey, we want to create a CDN in AWS, which services you have used it? So please remember, there is one service name called CloudFront. Okay, CloudFront is a CDN services. Okay, which is a can be used. But right now, let's not get into that. But information purpose, remember that. So all the videos I am uploading here in the S3, and from here I am offering to the whole world. Now the question is, what kind of data you can host? Basically any kind of file you can store it, but most of the time in industry we store the images, videos, some static content like PDF file and stuff like that, CSS, HTML content, HTML files, CSS, JavaScript. These all the content we stored in the this one, what do you say, S3. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll tell you one more thing here. You can host your static website also using CDN. Let me show you one of the website I am hosting, and that is this one. See here, this is the live website I'm showing you, production. This is the one live website anyone can access. Do you know that it is hosted in, this website is hosted here somewhere. See that, this is the file. In front of you, you have files. Understood?
Yes.
So basically static content you can host in this. Now I want Anshul you to work on it. So first thing, create a domain, not create a domain, buy a domain and AWS. How much it will cost you? So this will cost you $12. Okay.
Okay.
Now create a domain at AWS. You will buy that domain. You can buy something like anshul.com, or you have a title, something like that. Let's say my domain is rajeshkumar.xyz. This is my
Correct.
domain. Okay.
Correct.
So like that you will buy today, and this $12 you have to pay yearly. Okay.
Okay.
Now create a domain, and this is the task. Okay. Create a domain and develop one static website. Static website means HTML website of your CV. Okay. So you have to create some HTML pages. That is, whatever the CV you have, no, you have to create HTML format of it, and then host at S3. Okay, host means storage is you are going to use step 3. So here step by step guide for buy a domain at AWS and develop one website, one static website of your CV website, static CV website, and host at host at S3, Amazon S3. So this you have to do that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I have a few more assignment. If you complete this one, then I will ask you something related to database operations also. Okay. So first you do that. Now for this assignment, how much it will cost you? So it will cost you $12 and plus let's add some $1 extra, $13 per year, because S3 is very cheap and your website will hardly cost, I mean, hardly you will have a few files. Okay. So $13 for this assignment, but you will learn a lot. And on top of that, in your CV, you will write your domain name as part of CV. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Got it. So buy a domain at Route 53. Route 53. This is the service name also I'm saying. So you will understand this. Okay. So coming back to the topic. So here, this is the S3. I bought it. I mean, I created a bucket. The bucket name is Rajesh demo, this one. Now what to do? Upload a file. Now usually, see, when you work in the organization, you will not upload the file just like I'm doing it. You will do through the command line and through the programs. Okay, you'll write a Java program, PHP program, Ruby program, and then upload the file through the client. Okay, command line. But just you want to learn that, right? So for that, I'm uploading manually. So let's upload the file manually. Some video file. Let me see if I have it. Some small file I want it, because I don't have the patience to wait for longer. So do you have any video files? Smaller one? All are larger one only.
That's okay. You can upload just a file, sir. That's fine.
Yeah. So I'll upload this file and then upload this. So this is the file. Now the question is, once you upload, let's like a Google Drive. Okay, nothing great about it. Now the question is, how can I access this file? So anyone can access this file. Now this is the perfect URL which you have it, and this is the object URL, not this URL. You should not share this URL. This is the real URL. This is the real URL. Now can I access this file? Let me see. Oh, what is this problem? So here the problem is that this is not allowing, I mean, AWS is not allowing you to access. So what do you have to do? You have to set up permissions for it. Now the question is, how do I set up permission? That is where I want you to show you, because creating a bucket is easy. Now set your permission. So I'll go for setting up the bucket permission. So here there's a bucket, Rajesh demo. Go to the permissions and I will read it very carefully. I will read everything and edit, and I'll disable all the public blocking. It's a dangerous one, but I'm doing it just for accessing the resources publicly. Save it. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Confirm. Okay, I did it. Now am I able to access? Let me see. See here, you are not able to access. So basically what is happening here, you not only have to provide the bucket level access, but you have to also object level access, means file level access. So where to do that? So for that, I'll go to the file now, go to the objects, click on it, and here you see permissions at the file level. So here what to do? Here few things will be there. Make public. Do you see public? See this make public using ASL. So this is disabled. See last one, correct? No?
Yes.
So what is this? ASL is disabled. So for that, what I need to do? So I'll go to the bucket. I'll go to the permissions and find out where is my ASL. So ASL is ACL. Sorry, yeah. So here, see here. This is the ACL. So I'll just edit. Oh, sorry, this one. So here I'll edit, and I don't want the this one recommended disabled. I'll enable it and I acknowledge it. Okay, read this each and everything text, it will help you. and save it. Now I'll go to the object, click on the object, and now I'll make this public. By the way, this is the easy way. This is the easy way, cheating way. But you can go to the permission and manually also you can set who should read, write, and all this thing manually. Okay, this is also you can do that. But right now I'm lazy, so I'll click on this, make public ACLs and make public. This is not recommended for the productions, but I'm teaching you because I want to show you this as a public. And this is what I have done it. I have uploaded an image, I made it all the videos public, and this URL you can find it accessible on the okay. Are you understanding?
Yes, but my question is, where did you allow the networks? I mean, like you need to allow the network, right?
Like, why network? Did you configure the network for accessing the files on Google Drive?
No.
The HTTP,
Okay.
no? This is HTTP
Okay.
protocol.
Got it. Okay,
What do you
sir.
need? That for
Okay.
EFS and EBS, you need access to EC2 instance. But for HTTP, why you need just public access? If it is accessible, you can access. If it's not accessible, not access. Simple.
Okay.
I set the permissions just because of I wanted to show you. Same thing you can do in the Google Drive. You upload a files and you can share with the people. If you don't share, then it will not be accessible by default.
Yes.
Okay, so now I will also do the cleanup because I always forget. So I'll do in front of you and you also should remember. So I cannot delete the bucket directly. I have to delete each object and then only I can delete the bucket. So here, permanently delete. Yes, I want it. And close it. And bucket. And delete. Don't delete by mistake something else, otherwise you will be in a problem. Typically, you know, we don't delete through the commands and UI. We delete through the code. So developers write a code, so they will write a code saying that, okay, when you are uploading, let's say Facebook picture, so this should be uploaded to the S3 and the reference should be used for that in the code. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we have done S3 also, storage. Now next topic is networking. Okay, so this is the next topic. So now what is the networking? I'll put it in a simple way. Just imagine this is your AWS, one region, Mumbai region, and thousands of people will create VM. Okay, thousands of people. So one VM, not thousands, sorry, my bad. Millions of people will create a VM. Okay, millions of people. Now the problem here is, don't you think each of these people will be able to access the same data center, right? Each of the people will be able to access that resources of each other. Millions of people have only one region which is called Mumbai, and they're creating EC2 instance, and they will be able to access each other. Correct?
Yes.
Are you understanding, Ashwani?
Yes. I'm getting your point.
So in your office, you have hundreds of computers. Each computer is accessible by each other, right? Because in the same network, correct? No? So what we do? Let's say I'll put it in a simple way. My machine should not be accessible by your machine. So what should I do? I mean, forget about the firewall and all. I'm talking about the network level.
Can you repeat your question, sir?
My machine, see, you and me staying in the same home, okay? And I am having 5 machines, you are having 5 machines.
Yes.
So my machines should not be accessible through the network to your machines. What should you should be doing?
When you, I mean, maybe wrong, but when you connect to the network, you should say, you should hit on option say, enable public access to this PC.
Okay, I'll put it in more simpler way. Ashwani, do you know Geo, right? I think Anshul is in US, so probably
Yes.
So you know Geo. So Geo is providing the internet to everyone, correct?
Correct.
Yes, yes.
So Geo has millions of clients. So now how would they make sure that each account, no matter how many machines you attach to each connection, one people should not connect to the other connections, other people? How would they make sure?
Through their IP?
No, they create a network. So see, Geo is a large network. Inside that, they create a small network. So when they gave you the access to, I mean, when they give you the internet access, they created one small network to you. Okay. So that way you cannot access the machine of your neighbors because of networking limitation. Okay, there is a way to access, but you will not be by default, you will not be able to access. Are you understanding, Anshu?
Yes, sir.
So that is the way. So I'll put in more example. There is one IT park, huge IT park. 10,000 people can work in that building. Now there is only one broadband for that, very heavy broadband. So how that people, that IT guys will divide into the hundreds of companies, because there's in the IT park there's the hundreds of companies and everyone will use the same internet. So how would they divide like in hundreds of companies? So they create a sub network actually, large network, small network. See, the whole world, you might have studied. Whole world is collections of LAN, means small network, and it create a large network. Have you studied this? LAN versus WAN.
Yes.
So everyone, see, I'm having one internet connection, and I'm connected to 5 laptops to my internet connection. This is a small network. So my neighbor is also having small network, and all this small network combined together create a large network. Understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now the question was how, see, so AWS has a data center where you have millions of account and millions of EC2 instance can be created. So how would they isolate one user to another user? Everyone is doing the same thing. What AWS has done it, Geo has done it, Airtel has done it, your Office has done it the same way, conceptually. Okay, so they will create a network, small network. So they will say, hey, we'll create one virtual network, and this virtual network, let me change the color. This virtual network will be one network, two network, three network, and so on. So that means AWS is also isolating the large, each account, each EC2 instance using the network, small network. They divide into small network, and each person can have your own network, and this machine, understand that this machine can talk to this machine can talk to this, but this machine cannot talk to this because this is a different network, this is a different network. Make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Now the question is what they call. Ashwin, you can think of like this is one geo connection, this is another 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 geo connection, and you can have this many laptops attached to your network. Simple way I'm putting it.
Yeah, I get
Okay,
it.
so now, yeah, so now what we call it in AWS? So
Okay.
we call it VPC.
Okay.
What do we call it?
Virtual,
VPC.
private connection.
Virtual private connect. So creating a network in AWS, that process we call it a VPC. So that means you can create as many networks you wanted. In AWS, you can create as many networks you want. Okay, as many networks. So now the question is, VPC is there. I can create a network, but you need to understand a little bit of VPC also. At a fundamental level, I'm trying to teach you, but it can be complicated also. When you become an architect for designing a network, you will have to do lots of things. So right now, I am having this. This is the AWS large region, and here I have a VPC. One VPC I created. Now this VPC I will divide into two parts, at least two parts. This is called what? Subnet. So this is the this subnet. So this is the LAN. You can say one network, and again you created a small network in this. But you know what? This machine and this machine will be connected. I mean, you can reach out to each other. So now the question is, why we create a subnet? Because of only one reason. See, this network which you create, you get the internet from outside. Internet means connecting to the WAN. You get the outside. So how you get it? So there is one concept called internet gateway. So using the internet gateway, you get the internet. So now, do you want the internet here also in this EC2 instance? Do you want the internet here also? Then that's okay.
Yeah.
But let's say if you don't want internet here, so you have to write route table. Have you heard about this route table?
No.
So route table is a networking concept. Whatever I'm teaching you is a networking concept actually. What happens? Internet come from outside and internet gateway send that to the route table. Route table is nothing but rules, and route table decide, hey, you're coming, so go here, do not go there. So here what is happening when you do not have internet? So that subnet we call it private subnet. What we call it? Private subnet. And the place where you have internet, you call it public subnet. Public subnet means accessible to the whole world. Private subnet is accessible to not internet. But this EC2 instance and this EC2 instance can't talk to each other without any problem on the network. Are you understanding?
Yes,
Now
yes.
you'll say why public network? Because internet we need. No, we don't need internet everywhere. See, internet is needed in the web server, but internet is not needed in the database server. I'll put it in a simple way. So see, Ashwani, you are running the MySQL, right?
Yes.
See, right now what you are running in your laptop? You are running Apache, correct?
Yes.
So that is a web server. Then you are running PHP, that is application server. And then you are running database, that is a DB server. You know what? The internet is needed only to web server. And web server will talk to the app server, and here app server don't need internet. Only the web server need to know that app server, and app server only need to know the database server. So here you don't need an internet. So actually, you know, I asked you to install this stack, the LAMP stack, in the only one computer, but in the production server we don't run like that. Yes, in the production server we keep the Apache running in a different machine, PHP in the different machines, MySQL in different machines. I mean, sorry, different network and different machines all together. So there will be one. I'm not complicating too much. There will be web server here and database server can be here. I'm having right now in this example only two subnet. So when you run the production server, you will have a distributed architecture. It's not like that you install everything in one machine. Okay, this application is running and it's done. Within a minute, hacker will hack your application and sell out all the details at the dark network, dark web. Are you understanding?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so you have to design this actually. So coming back to the point, when you design, then you should know VPC, then subnet concept, then route table concept, and then internet gateways concept. This is the fundamental. Now there are hundreds of more services are there, not complicating. Now the question is, how do you create a VPC? How do you create a VPC? So I'll show you this one. Click on the VPC here.
I have a quick question.
Hmm.
Does DevOps engineer have to create this networking stuff, sir, or a networking engineering team will do this?
You have to create. Depends on your requirement. See, I'll tell you one simple way. Nowadays, every services what you can think of it can be done by anyone, because just a matter of click. That's all.
Correct.
Okay, so you have to create in a Terraform script and all. You have to write all this stuff. Okay, so let's create. I have a 2 VPC. I don't know how come. This VPC. Okay. Last demo maybe. I see this is the mistake I do. I forgot to delete and keep charging me, and then stuff like that. Okay, so now I'm creating a network. So let's create a network. So click on this here and click on the VPC. And here you want to create a VPC only or VPC and more. So I want to create everything, this one. So here, if you see that there's a simple diagram. Okay, so here, what is the name of this auto-generated project? What is the CIDR? And what is the tenancy default? And how many availability zone you want it? So you want 2, 3, depends on this. How many public subnet you want? Public subnet means you have internet, and private subnet means no internet. Do you want NAT gateway? I'll just leave it right now, and VPC endpoint and create. Now you see this here. See here, VPC created, and how many subnets you have in the image, which I selected 4, 2 public, 2 private. See here, and you see that this public subnet is routed the internet through what? This is the route table. This is the image actually, so you can understand this networking very easily. So they have given it to you. Okay, this is the internet gateway. See, internet gateway, if you look at this, it's using this routing table, and it's taking the internet to the public subnet. Public is a concept. Remember the name of this subnet. You can see that. Are you able to see that?
Yes, I saw.
Yeah, and here there's no internet. It's the private subnet. So like that, you have to understand a little bit of fundamental of networking also. Then it will be helpful for you. Anyways, I just click on the create. It will take few seconds to create, and then I can use it. So I created a network. After that, you can see this network. Okay, and here internet gateway is a paid one for you, and so on. So now how to use it? So let me tell you now how to use it. Go to the EC2, the one which you did yesterday, last session. Then launch the instance. And now remember that, go to the older one itself, old experience, and select this anything, whichever you want. Right now I'll not be so, and select the CPU and RAM. And now look at this network, subnet, and all. So actually, you know what? Earlier, you were able to create EC2 instance in one network unknowingly. Why? Because whenever you create an account, AWS account, in every region, there is a one network get created by AWS free of cost and default. Without that, you can't work it. So right now, I don't want that EC2 instance to be created in the default. I want in the my one which I created, project VPC. Understood?
Yes.
So that means you can create multiple VPC. One account can create a multiple VPC, and then you decide this EC2 instance should be here or here or here or what exactly. So you can create a multiple VPC just like this. And here you can select which network, which subnet, private subnet or public subnet. I created 4 subnets, and then remaining things. Did you understand all of it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so this is how you have to do that. Let me go ahead and delete that. I'll have to cut the cost. Yeah. So delete VPC, and now there's one assignment for you here, and each assignment you have to do with honesty. What is VPC, subnet, route table, and last one, internet gateway. Okay, so you will put it up, not only understand, don't do it just because of sake of assignment. Understand the concept, use some image and understand that, and then do that. By the way, this concept is not only for AWS. If you have studied in networking fundamental also, this will be there. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I deleted this, and right now I have.
Now you have to go back to, I mean, like if you had changed it, now you have to go back to your EC2 instance and change the network back to the default, right?
No, you can't change that. That's a problem. I'll put it in this way. Let's say you are staying in my neighborhood, okay? And I have one internet, you have also one internet, and your laptop is connected to your internet. So now, in order to change that, you have to bring that laptop to me, to my home, correct?
Yes.
So this like that. So EC2 instance, you can't change the network. What you can do, you can create a new machines over there in that network.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is a something which you have to do that. So now next topic is security. So security means what? So here the service is IAM.
Identity.
IAM means identity and access management. Basically, this can be used for what? So how to secure, that is a very simple way I'm putting on. How to secure AWS account. That's the first question. And second question, how to share your AWS account with others. Are you understanding it? Because
Yes.
company will have only one account. Let's say you are working for the DevOps school. DevOps school will create one account. But the question is, DevOps school has a tens of project, hundreds of engineers, and each engineers have a different level of work. So how do you manage this 10 project, different level of access? How do you manage it? And the answer is IAM, because you can't give every access to everyone. There has to be role-based access. Only required access should be given. Correct?
Correct.
So how do we do that? So for that, I will go to the IAM. Okay, and here I am IAM. Now this concept of IAM is very simple. Here you have a user. I'll put it on this way. Here, what has happened? AWS has created lots of policies. Read this access, write this access, exclude, delete this, that, a lot of access created. Now this access, what they call it, they call it policy. So let me show you the policy here. See that how many policies you have. I can't count it, but here you see that 1021 policy. Now you say, Rajesh, I want to create my own policy. Yes, you can create your own policy, but to begin with, you don't need your own policy. Every policies they have created it, and that is more than sufficient. So this is the policy. Now after that, what we do, this policy you can apply to the user. This is user. But you know what? When you have a large project, assigning this policy to user is becoming very tedious work. What happens? Instead of applying this policy here, this access to this user, this access to user, it's a very tedious work. So what to do? So then what we do? We add this all users and create a group. Okay. So you create a group and then access, add the policy to the group rather than user. So this we added to this group, this we added to this group, like that. So now whatever the policy attached to this group, this user will have that same access. So here you have a policy, you have a users, and here you have a group. Understood, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So let me do that. So let me show you here users I'm going to create. The few users already created. I have to audit actually. I'm not auditing from last long many days. So this I'm doing demo. Okay. Now what do you want to access? You want to give API access through program, through code, or through console also. Right now console is okay. Right now I'm giving console. And do you want to auto generate a password? Let it go. And do you want user to change the password? No. Next. Now do you want to add into group? No, because I have not created any group. Do you want to tag it? No. And do you want to add a permissions? No, and create a user. So this user has no permission right now, and this is the password. And here, and the username is demo. Okay, so this is the user I have created. Now what to do? I have to go and create a group also, right? So this user has no access right now. So I have to go and create a group. Group also I'm creating a demo, so it will be easy for me to clear demo. Now which user? So here the user is demo. Username is demo, group name is demo. And now which access? So here you want to give access only for EC2 instance. EC2, just search for it. And here you are giving the EC2 full access. And then create a group. So now group has the EC2 full access and username is demo, username and group name is demo. Now how to access it? So go to the dashboard. There is one specific URL you will get it somewhere right side here. And now I'll click on this console, and here username is demo, password is this one. So this is your account, username is demo, password is this one. And this is not AWS account, mind it, it's your account you are sharing with some other user. Okay, and here it is. Now this user has got the AWS access. Understood? See here, demo@DevOpsSchool. This is the IAM user. So this is how you can set this group user and blah 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 and then get it done. Let me go ahead and delete this group first, demo, and delete the user, because even though if I don't delete the user, nothing will happen because I deleted the group itself. So that is allowing the access to the done. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now there is one more thing which you see, roles. So roles is basically not for the human. Roles is basically for the when one service of AWS wants to connect to the another service of AWS for internally access authentications, you require the roles. Just keep it in mind. One service of AWS to another service. For example, when you want to connect to the EC2 to the S3 bucket, in that case, you can use the roles. Here you have to create a role and then you can do that. So that is the things. Now, database service. What is the database service? So let me put it in this way. So Anshul, tell me, there is an app and there is a database. So what are the information you required for the database so app can connect to the database? Tell me.
I mean, definitely a login should be created on the database level.
So I'll put it in this way. Let's say Ashwani, when you set up you're using application server Laravel, right?
Yes.
So what are the information you give in the Laravel of database so it will connect to the database? Tell me.
Just client ID and client secret.
What you're talking about, man? I'm saying what information you give to applications about database. Where is the client ID and client database? This is the client ID and client secret is for the inter API request. No.
Yeah.
I said database.
Yeah. Through
Anshul, you have this question?
Yeah, DNS name or the IP address.
IP address, which is what is the IP address for you, Anshul? Ashwani? Localhost, don't you use it in environment
yes,
file?
I'm using it. Yes.
Yeah. Why you are struggling for that? So you need IP address, then you need a DB name. You need a username, and you need a password.
Correct.
You need a password. And then one more thing, you need a port number also. What is the port number of MySQL, by the way?
MySQL is 22, I believe.
3306. Correct, no?
Yeah. Okay. MySQL,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
So here application is running in a different server, database is running different server. If you want to connect it, these are the information you need it. Now the question is, how do we get a database? See, in AWS, you don't have to install database. Just using the widget, you create a database. How? Let me show you. So go to the RDS. Okay.
So RDS, I mean, like, I have a question. RDS, which database does it run? Is it MySQL or SQL Server or MongoDB?
RDS is a concept. All relational relational database, you can get it through the RDS. For
Okay.
example, MySQL, MS SQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL, anything. And RDS is a concept. Okay. So here you can get the database. Can we get the database? Let me click on the instance, and
So
here you
this,
can click.
so this is a PaaS instance.
This is
PaaS instance, PaaS instance.
PaaS. Yes, yes. It is the PaaS instance. You don't have to install the database server. You don't have to manage this all this infrastructure. It will be managed services.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So here you just widget, create a database, what you want, Aura, MySQL, MariaDB, Postgres, or Oracle, or something. If you can bring your own license also, by the way. Okay. And here you select that what version of database you want. For example, I'll go for the MySQL, and here you can select the version, which version of MySQL you want, for what region you want, what is the identifier, what is the username, what is the password, confirm password, and what is the class. Here 2 CPU, 8 GB RAM, blah blah blah, and what is the storage for this database. And then follow this. It's accessible by where? Connectivity. These are the options. And finally, if it is publicly accessible, yes, no. Public accessible means anyone can access from around the globe. No. And networking, authentications, and some performance monitoring related stuff, change here and then create. So once you follow this, all this stuff, it is a little costful again, because it's license required and all. So just for understanding purpose, this will be given to you at the end of it within 5 minutes, and you can embed that in applications and you can use it. Make sense, all of you? Okay, so now let's talk about the DevOps services. DevOps services. So let me put it up in this way. So Anshul, do you know GitHub, right?
Yes.
Do you know Maven?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you know SonarQube?
The quality check.
Yeah, code quality check. Do you know Jenkins?
CI/CD.
Do you know Ansible?
Scripting.
Yeah. So why I'm counting this tool?
Yeah.
Why
I
I'm
only know
counting this?
about that, sir.
Yeah. So why I'm counting this tool? See here. If you want to practice DevOps, then there are problems. What problems? So these are the problems which you have. Primary. Okay. These are the problems. So problems such as source code versioning, how you do that, code analysis, how you do that, build management, how you do that, package management, how you do that, deployment, how you do that. These are the problems. And in this course, I'm teaching you different tools for it, which is very popular in this day. Okay. Now, what about if AWS say, hey, I'm having something similar services on AWS and you can use it. Yes, AWS has all sort of services in order to implement the DevOps. So that means if you are 100% on AWS, you can use those services for implementing DevOps. Okay, so I'm teaching you generic DevOps. But if you want to practice all these tools only at AWS, so for that, you can click on the Dev tool. And how do I go? Let me go to this here. Developers tool, and then you see that you have all these services which you can think of it. So you okay, so one by one, are you writing the code in editor?
Yes.
So for that we have a Cloud9. That means you can write a code directly on the cloud itself.
Okay.
Are you storing the code in a GitHub? Then we have a code commit. Are you building the code in using Maven in the build server? Then we have a code build. Are you deploying the code using the Ansible? Then you have a code deploy. Are you setting up the CI/CD pipeline using Jenkins? You have a code pipeline.
Yes.
Are you doing the review of the code applications? X-ray, sonar Q. So
Okay.
here, what I'm trying to tell you here is, if you want to practice the DevOps only using AWS, you can do AWS. We can use all these services. Right now, this is only for awareness purpose, not required, because anyways you are using that generic DevOps. But remember that anything which you want to see, if someone will ask you, hey, can we implement the DevOps using AWS only? Then you can say, yes, we have a AWS services on AWS, which is allow us to create set up the entire DevOps stack. For example, code build for build, code artifact for storing the artifacts, code commit for storing the source code, code deploy for the deploying the application, code pipeline for setting up the pipeline, code start for review the code, X-ray for the analysis and debugging and all stuff like that. Editor also we have it, which is Cloud9. Make sense? Are you understanding? Hello?
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, you can create. This is a code commit. You see that how many repository I have created, and it's like a GitHub. Anyways, I'll teach you the GitHub, not this one. I don't know whether I have covered a GitHub or not. Did I?
Not completely.
Yeah. So here HTTP SSS protocol and all stuff like that. Okay. So this is a developer services. Some of the dev services also, for example, SES. I'm just giving you an introduction. You don't need to use it. Just know about that. SES is like setting up SMTP server. Is for the programmer. SQS. If you want to set up a queue server, managed queue server, SQS. SNS. If you want to set up a managed notification server for the PopStar banner, so this service. So overall, in AWS, you will find almost any kind of services with the click. Just need to tell what you want. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yes.
Okay, so now this is for the day. Any questions which you have?
Huh. This is a long class, sir.
Yeah. Actually, in the normal batch, we have a 4 hours, but for you, I think Patrick has customized this training.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,